as a part of their religion and spiritual global view of the planet.
And I mean, now, even while Richard Nixon had kind of banned its research, there were places that still allowed for indigenous people in the country to go ahead and use that in their religious practices, correct? Or am I wrong?
So there was a Supreme Court case which permitted Native Americans to use peyote for religious purposes. I can't remember when that was, but there was a period of time where Native Americans were technically not allowed to use peyote for religious use. It's not like they have always been granted a federal exemption from the Controlled Substances Act. And then the other group that is permitted in the United States to use psychedelics federally is the União de Vegetal, which is a Brazilian church which has been granted permission to use ayahuasca for religious purposes.
Okay, so now here we are, it's 2020. And in the last few years, and I know this from my own personal experience, I've been just running into person after person after person after person who has taken a trip and asked me, have I prepared myself to do so, or am I about to do so? And it seems to be available again now because it is not. What's its status right now? Is it legal? Not legal? Inside, I guess was it Idaho? One state this year legalized it, and I'm at a loss.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in terms of psychedelic policy reform right now. Psychedelics are still federally illegal, just like cannabis. They're still LSD, psilocybin are still Schedule 1 substances on the Controlled Substances Act, which is the most highly restricted category, saying that they have a high potential for abuse and no medical use, which we know is not true. Same with cannabis. That being said, there's been some movement happening at the local level. So as you mentioned, Oregon passed the very first bill legalizing medical psilocybin in November. And basically what they did is this bill does is it legalizes psilocybin, the psychoactive component in psychedelic mushrooms, only in therapeutic context. So it's not like anyone is going to be able to just go trip and that's going to be legal, but they're setting up an actual infrastructure in the state of Oregon where people are going to be able to go just like they do in the clinical trials and have supportive trips with therapists.